Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You want to hate the Ewoks,
Yeah,
but how can you? Right?
I don't know.
One,
Yeah,
all right, they fuzzy, they cute, they give off this oh look at, but then they was fucking shit up.
so I just got finished watching the Batman parts of the Flash movie.
I thought you were about to say the Batman because I just finished
No,
watching
no,
it.
no. Yeah, I know, and
Well,
you're
not
hating.
just finished, but
You're a hater.
oh, wow.
And I mean, and you like you. That movie's trash, man.
It's pretty bad.
The Flash is bad, man. It's
Pretty
not a
bad.
good movie.
The
But
crazy thing is it had a good storyline though.
it
The
did
villain
have a
was
good
trash.
storyline. It did have a good storyline. Like you can't knock that. The thing I knock the most is the Flash has so many great villains, and you didn't use any of them. Like not even in like the opening scene, you didn't use any of them. It's based on Flashpoint, which is a great storyline, but you only use like bits and pieces of that. When like I don't know, it just misses the mark, man. And then just it's a CGI heavy movie with bad CGI. Like,
first of all, you cast the wrong Flash.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
I
hate the way the Flash runs.
Yeah.
But the Batman parts are dope.
Anything Batman you're gonna like for some reason. I'm starting to find
you don't think the Batman parts in that movie are dope?
I do, but also I'm starting to learn your MO a little bit. Where are you at now?
I mean,
let me try to guess this location. This isn't it isn't that straightforward.
This
I
one
got
is
two.
straightforward. What do you mean?
Is it Oracle's?
No,
it's not. Is it Doctor Strange's?
Yes, it's the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Okay, all right.
Doctor Strange Sanctum Sanctorum. Right. That's right.
Yeah. Anything Batman, you're all gung ho about.
Weird. I mean, except Batman and Robin. I don't like that movie at all.
And it should be the Batman, but
no, the Batman.
We'll save that for another day.
Okay. That's fine.
So we're live.
Oh, we are? Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're live. Want to thank everybody for joining, man. Two dope ass nerds back again. Anton, Tate, Ernest Drummond. What you got for him?
I'm Anton, and I got a bad feeling about this.
Okay.
That's my quote.
All right. So you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
From a real Batman movie. From the Batman.
Oh, it's not many quotables from that movie.
Yeah, we're back, man. We're back, and as always, we got the question of the week. I think this one might be a little bit of a thinker. Maybe not. Maybe you've thought about this before. So, and let me know if you don't understand my wording. If you could take two or more characters, and they have to be from different movies, okay, and put them in a crossover movie, what characters would you pick? And it can be any genre, any storyline, whatever, any characters. Doesn't have to be main characters, it could be whatever.
It don't have to be Marvel, DC.
It can be anything.
Are we sticking with comic books?
No, anything. Movies? Any movie franchise. Any movie, not even franchise, any movie. Anything.
See, that's so broad. That's so broad. But
yeah, I mean, yeah. But it's not about the movies, it's about the characters. So characters you think would be interesting together in some way, either teaming up together or hero and villain or villain versus villain, whatever.
Okay. Let me go. This is definitely a thinker because it's so broad that you know what I'm saying you can't really narrow it down. but I'm gonna stick in the sci-fi realm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I don't know. Give me Doctor Who and the three sisters from Charmed. Monkey
Okay.
Wrench.
That's dope. I like that actually. I like that. I like that. So would it be? So it would be sci-fi. It would be all sci-fi.
All sci-fi. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, let me change that up. Can I change that up?
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. It's your vision. You're playing.
Give me Charmed and no, I'm sticking with it. Give me Doctor Who and Charmed.
Yeah, that would be dope. Doctor Who. I didn't know you were a Doctor Who fan.
Who's not a Doctor Who fan? Is a real
A
question.
lot,
Only
a lot of
people that
people.
aren't Doctor
I only
Who
know a
fans
few.
are people that haven't seen Doctor Who.
I agree.
Yeah.
Doctor Who is amazing. Yeah, I actually don't know. I think now that I know you are, I know two other ones besides me. One guy I work with
That are Doctor Who fans.
that are Doctor Who fans.
Well, that's
Yeah.
again, that's just ignorance. We'll saying blame their head, not their heart. Let's put it that way.
I like that. Charm, Doctor Who. There's a lot of possibilities there. There's a lot of magic and science stuff there. I would have also. You said Doctor Who. I would have said Bill and Ted too. I'd like to see it.
Listen.
Doctor Who, Bill and
Again,
Ted
so
go head to
broad
head.
that a lot of things slip through the cracks. But that would
for sure.
be
No, that's not a slip. That's just that would be crazy.
That would be a hell of a mashup.
So mine is. I've thought about this a lot over the years, last few years. Mine is. I got three characters. John Wick, the Equalizer.
Okay, I like where you're going right now.
And the bull from Taken.
Okay,
right.
Who wins? Is this so here's the thing? Are they on the same squad? Is this like an Expendables type shit?
It would have to be like. It would have to be how they do like in comics, where it's like they have the two superheroes first meet and they always fight first.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be like that at first. I feel like the Equalizer guy and Taken would probably already be like a team. Like maybe they're part of like government agencies or something like that. So maybe it's like they would have to team up. They're brought together, and then they meet John Wick and it's a fight. But then they bring John Wick over to their side.
It would definitely have to be the two versus Wick.
For sure, absolutely, it has to be the two versus Wick, and then they bring him over to their side to defeat a common enemy.
Okay.
All action.
I like it.
Guns, knives, swords,
fisticuffs.
That's
you clearly thought that through.
Yes, so absolutely.
You're clearly not lying when you say you thought through this. You thought about this for quite a while.
Only thing I don't have is like a story. If I had an actual story, I'd write it. No one would take it, but I'd write it. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. And they're all old, so they're past their prime action movie stars.
Okay,
so I think it works. You don't have anybody that's super young doing.
Here's the thing. Listen, not to belabor the point, but now you got me sitting here thinking about this, right? and the natural crossover, right? That I probably would have said had I thought about it instead of drum music would be Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings.
Ooh. But how would you do that though? They're like,
well, is it
like actual Harry Potter or just in the wizarding world?
So here's the thing. That's the interesting part about how you would mash it up, because Lord of the Rings is Middle Earth, old age storytelling, and Harry Potter is more modern. Maybe I don't know. I gotta think it through.
But Harry Potter is more modern, but the wizarding world is old.
Correct, but we don't know much about the old wizarding world, so can't.
We actually know more than you think. There's what's the website they got? J.K. Rowling's website. She does a lot of background stuff on the Wizarding World. I like that though. I like that though. There's the point is there's a million possibilities for a story like that, a mashup like
Facts.
that. We don't know what it is
Facts.
right now because we're just sitting here talking about it now. But
Right.
if we really put some thought into it, there's a million possibilities. I like that. I like both your choices. Um, but I am also very intrigued by Bill and Ted Doctor Who
Bill
mashup.
and Ted Doctor Who would be magical.
It'd be crazy. It'd be crazy. Um, all right. Good answers. I like that. You got something for us next, right?
Um, yeah. So got a little quiz. So for those of you who don't know, for the
Oh, it's a
uninitiated,
quiz.
it's a quiz for you. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Sure.
the movie that we will be reviewing in the future is Star Wars, right?
Mhm.
So what's the most epic thing to come out of Star Wars? Lightsabers, right?
Lightsabers.
So give you a little quiz to determine what color your lightsaber would be.
Okay.
Got me? All right, here we
Yep.
go. So got a couple questions, right? So first,
Yep.
what motivates you the most? A, knowledge and growth. B, justice and action. C, peace and empathy. D, balance and understanding. E, independence and clarity. Or F, leadership and legacy.
Violence and understanding is crazy. Violence and understanding? Aren't those
Balance, balance
oh
and understanding.
balance? I thought you said violence and understanding. I was like, yo, that's
Listen, we
a
already
crazy.
know you might be a Sith already.
No,
you
no, I wasn't gonna pick that. I just thought that was crazy. Balance and understanding. Got you. No, knowledge and growth. Knowledge and growth.
knowledge and growth. When conflict arises, you look for deeper truth. B, step in and take charge. C, try to mediate. D, trust your instincts. E, stay neutral until you see all sides. F, do whatever gets results, even if it's unorthodox.
When violence, would you say when conflict arises?
You stuck on
Sorry, I'm stuck on violence. I'm trying to get to violence.
conflict. When
When
conflict
when
arises,
conflict arises,
yes.
I think the one that stuck out to me most was seek deeper meaning. Isn't that what you said?
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, yeah.
What kind of Jedi would you be? A scholar or a teacher? A warrior or a protector? Diplomat or a healer? A seeker of personal mastery? A lone guardian of balance? A rule breaking trailblazer?
Uh, a lone a lone guardian of what'd you say? A lone what?
Um, what is it? A lone guardian of balance?
A lone guardian of balance.
That's you? Okay.
That's what I'd be.
Okay. Your biggest strength is wisdom, courage, compassion, intuition, objectivity, or innovation?
Intuition.
Intuition. Okay. Okay. How do you view the force? A source of knowledge, a tool for justice, a path to harmony, a personal journey, a balance of light and dark, or a power that adapts to the user?
Balance of light and dark.
Balance of light and dark. Okay. So, your lightsaber, when I input your answers, is green. You are a green lightsaber,
Oh
which
snap!
means
Like Yoda. There we go.
wise, calm, and deeply in tune with the force. Your valid, your value, knowledge, and peace, like Yoda, Qui Gon Jinn.
That's right.
Yeah,
I that sounds just like me. Cause I'll tell you why.
I
Qui
snatch
Gon
you.
Jinn is my guy. Qui
That's your
Gon Jinn
guy.
is my guy, and if there were gray Jedi's, he'd be a gray,
The
and I
weird
would
thing about
definitely be a
this
gray.
is, like, I understand the breakdown that they have, but
Hmm.
putting Qui Gon and Yoda in the same category is kind of wild to me. They're not the same. Qui Gon was technically, he liked to break a little bit of rules every now and again, but I get it. So I did this quiz.
He,
I
he
did
li-
this.
but he liked to break rules in search of deeper meaning, though. Like it was like you gotta. His thing was like you gotta look for more out of what you're just seeing. There's more to everything. That's why I like Qui-Gon. But I mean, I agree. Qui-Gon was Yoda's apprentice, so they got to have a little bit of the same traits.
True. So I was F, black,
Oh,
dark saber
that's
style.
it.
You know what I'm saying? Unique force of leadership and
So you're a
rebellion.
Mandalorian.
The dark saber reflects your non-traditional but powerful nature.
Yeah, so basically yeah, that's you. Yeah, you gotta contradict everything, fight everything.
Amen.
Yeah. You gotta be a rebel all the time.
Speak truth to
But
power is what I call it.
the black saber is dope though.
Black saber's fire.
And you'd be a Mandalorian.
Yeah,
So that's cool too.
double. That's doubled up.
Yeah. I like that one. That was good. That was good. Um I have one, but I'm gonna save it for later. See how much time we got.
Okay.
We'll either do it at the end or we'll wait till next time. But let's get to the news. Um, slow news day, slow news week, but we're gonna touch on some things here. First thing I got, something we talked about last week. We've been talking about for several weeks now is the news coming out about Spider-Man 4. Last week I said that I told you everybody that the title for Spider-Man 4 is Brand New Day, and kind of some of the things that would mean possibly for the plot of this. And it turns out I may have been right about one of those things, and that is the villain they are rumored to be casting is Mr. Negative. So Mr.
Mhm.
Negative will probably most likely be the villain in the fourth Spider-Man. Um, I think it's a great character. Um, I'm a little surprised because Mr. Negative is a new character. Like he's fairly new. He's popular because of the video game, but
Video game.
he is a fairly new character in the whole
Grand
uh,
scheme of things.
grand scheme of things with Spider-Man and all his villains, and probably the best villains in all of comics, really. But I do think it's a good choice. I think it's going to be an interesting choice. I think it's going to look his powers and everything is going to look really interesting on film. So that's my thoughts on it. What about you?
Again, I like it. Uh, you're 100% accurate. Popularity based on the video game. Um, and I'm all for. You know what I'm saying, stop throwing the same people at me. You know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
give me, especially when you have a expansive cast or cast of villains like Spider-Man does. I
Mhm.
don't need to get Hobgoblin and you know same villains over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Actually, I don't think we've actually gotten a Hobgoblin yet. Technically, I think I
We
think
got a
James
Hobgoblin,
Frank. I don't think
huh?
James Franco was Hobgoblin. I think he was like the second version of the Green Goblin, technically. But Ned in the comics is the Hobgoblin,
Yes, correct.
so that could happen too.
Good happen.
Um, next bit of news. The final Thunderbolts trailer came out. Um, I don't usually watch the trailers, but I thought I should for the podcast. And
Wait,
they seemed
you don't watch trailers?
not not generally.
You one of those guys?
Yeah, because I want to. I mean,
You want to be
I don't want to see too
surprised?
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to see too much. But I watched it. It didn't really tell me anything necessarily, except for we may have seen a glimpse of who the possible villain is, and it looks like it's the Void. If you don't know who the Void is like the counter identity to the Sentry. Like the Sentry
Hmm.
has like entity that is
Rip
connected
off
to
of.
him that makes him do bad things. It's like his bad half, and then the
Hmm.
Sentry's his good half. Um, that's fine. I'm not a huge fan of the Sentry. I think he's too powerful. I don't like I don't like super powerful characters like that. But also, it seems like it's a similar plot line to the first Suicide Squad movie, where like they put this team together of like villains, and then one of the people they put in the team ends up being like a bigger villain and causing problems. And
Right.
that Suicide Squad movie is okay, it's fine. Um, but it's I don't know. Obviously, haven't seen the movie, this Thunderbolts movie, but that plot line seems
Well,
very similar.
I think like the villain. If Century slash Void is the villain, then you essentially know the plot line, right? It's not like the Thunderbolts are gonna beat him in a fist fight. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
there's gonna be some talking off the ledge and bringing you back into the realm of goodness, shall we say?
yeah, yeah.
Somebody's appealing to his better side.
Mhm.
Well, in the movie,
I mean, hopefully they spin that somehow. I don't know. But it also made me think because we were talking about it last week, I believe, like having the Thunderbolts in the Doomsday is kind of like who cares? But maybe this movie where they have to fight an enemy as powerful as the Void, it'll show how they can fight powerful enemies. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah.
But I'm not a fan of the Sentry. I'm not a fan of, honestly. I'm not even a fan of Captain Marvel. I think she's way too powerful. And that is being too powerful should be for villains, because it creates more conflict for your heroes. And so I don't really like that. But
I mean, you get no argument from me
he's
on
here.
that in that regard.
Yeah,
Thunderbolt seems like a bunch of throwaway characters that they just wanted to make a movie out of,
yeah,
and
yeah.
nobody
So
really asked for.
I agree. I mean, and that storyline in the comics is way different, and I think better. Um, I think what they're really doing is a Dark Avengers. They're not really doing the Thunderbolts. So
Mm.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to go see it. I am interested in it. I like the Elena Belova character. So see how it goes. Um, Next bit of news. They announced that they are doing a new standalone Star Wars movie. Since we're on the subject of Star Wars,
Let's go.
um, it's going to be set after the events of the Rise of Skywalker, and it's going to be directed by Sean Levy. He directed Deadpool and Wolverine and Free Guy. He directs a lot of the episodes of Stranger Things, and it's going to be starring Ryan Gosling. Like he is signed on to star in the Star Wars movie. So I don't know. I think Ryan
So,
Gosling's fine, but
okay, so here's the thing, right?
mm,
Star Wars has this expansive world that
mhm,
hasn't really yet been explored on the big screen, right?
yeah, yep,
What it doesn't have is histrionics past the rise of Skywalker.
hmm,
So they're essentially writing a new storyline with
yeah,
probably new characters that
hmm,
nobody really has any feeling for.
yep.
And that's just weird to me. People have been
Oh, really?
begging, yes,
Okay.
because there's so many people that have been touched upon. Pause. Put it that way. Pause. Um, in the other movies that you could expand your universe with, that would be new, but also already introduced, that you refuse to touch, to go into a time period that has no familiarity, that nobody has familiarity with. It just seems like a weird decision to me.
So so
Listen.
give me an example of characters that you like from this new from the past, the last three movies that you
Give
think?
me a General Grievous movie, start to finish. Tell me this
Oh,
whole
you want to
story.
go? You want to go back though?
And that's what I'm saying.
You
Like, yes,
you don't think we should explore the future
not
at
yet,
all?
not yet,
Okay.
not yet,
Okay.
because there's too many characters that have been left to the wind that I
Yeah.
want to know about. Give me a Mace Windu movie.
Yeah.
You know, Knights of the Old Republic. Weren't they supposed to be making that movie when they were
I thought they were.
actually?
I thought that was a TV show, wasn't it? Isn't it supposed to be a TV show?
It might be a TV show, might be a TV show. But I was waiting because that's a time period where there was a number of Jedi, a number of Sith. You could have a, you
Mhm.
know, I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
listen. I'm all for new Star Wars, so it won't be that bad. But if I had my pick, I would prefer to explore some of these lesser known characters. Not even lesser characters that we haven't, got to see in action full time yet.
Mhm. So I, d- I see what you're saying, and I don't disagree with it. I think there's so many stories to tell.
Yeah.
I think there's so many. I think there's so many Jedi that we could tell stories about. But also, I gotta say, the series Andor
Hmm.
makes me um feel like it's a good idea to explore characters outside of those type of really more imaginative characters.
I mean,
Because and
correct. You don't need them to be Jedi, right?
no, I get no, and I understand what you're saying.
Give me a
Yeah,
movie about Lando.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But I just when I hear excuse me, when I hear what the possibility is. Oh, here's another thing they said before I continue what I'm saying. The budget is significantly smaller than any other previous Star Wars films. So that tells me like maybe it'll be a little more like an Andor vibes,
Hmm.
which like I loved that series and I didn't think I was going to. Um, because when I think of Star Wars, I think of normally like I think of like Jedi and stuff like that, and this was like about the people and how and Andor was about the people and how the Empire affects people throughout the galaxy. And I thought that was a really good perspective to have. So like I'm kind of all for like and I'm sorry, and with stuff like the Mandalorian and Ahsoka and all that, they are basically saying like we're going to continue on with what happened in the third trilogy. Like they're not going to backpedal on that. Like everything that's been happening in those series that happened before the prequel trilogy is leading up to what's happening in the prequel trilogy. So it's like if you're going to continue that way, then we do kind of have to explore a little bit at least what the future holds. And I would love to explore non-Skywalker stories.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I agree.
I
I
don't
agree with
even
that.
think, yeah, like I don't even think the prequel should have been a Skywalker story. And I wonder if when J.J. Abrams came up with his idea for the first one, if that was his idea all along, was to make it like make everything part of the Skywalker saga, or was it to kind of like have the Skywalkers in it but branch off into something new? And then it kind of snowballed into something else weird. I feel like so. I don't know. I'm excited about it. I like Sean Levy's stuff. Seen Deadpool and Wolverine. You seen Free Guy, the one with
Yeah, of
Ryan
course.
Reynolds, he's a video game character. That
Yes.
was dope. So like, Ryan Gosling, I think, is a big name, obviously. I don't know how many of his movies I actually like, but
I like Ryan Gosling.
it's cool.
I like Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
So
A lot of people do, so
I anticipate it. I'll go see it.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Another
Still
person that's supposed to be in this movie is Jodie Comer. She was in Free Guy also. She was the love interest girl
okay.
in Free Guy. And she was also killing in that show Killing Eve, where she played like the serial killer.
I don't think I've seen that.
she was the blonde lady in Free Guy, so she's a good actress. So I think it should be interesting. Um, Another thing I ran into that we kind of hit on last week when we were talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. They're doing a new Running Man. It's going to be directed by Edgar Wright. He's a
Hmm.
guy that wrote and directed Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz. Um, uh, what's that one movie? I can't remember it. I can't remember what it's called.
The
It
one
doesn't
where
matter.
they're he
Where the
did he
guys?
direct all where they like trying to hit all the bars in England.
Yes, yep. He directed that one. The dang, I can't think of what that name that is either. But he also directed remember the movie where the guy has to fight all the girls' ex-boyfriends? You see that, John?
Uh, um,
I gotta look
actually,
it up
just
because
I just watched this, and they have like comic book theme, like
yeah.
comic book style fights.
Yep.
Yeah,
Edgar Wright. Anyway, he's a really good director. You obviously like his movies because you've seen at least three of them, Johns, and they were really good.
I've seen all.
Um, you seen all? Okay, cool. Bet.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it called? Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Yes,
Yeah, and the other one is called The World's End.
World's End.
The
Yeah,
World's Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End are kind of like
yeah, it's
anthology
like
series that they
yeah.
do. But he's going to be directing this Running Man. It's going to be starring Glenn Powell, Coleman Domingo, and Josh Brolin. So I think the
Pass.
cast is good, man. The cast is
Fuck
good.
that. I don't care. Stop fucking remaking classics, man. Some
They
things
said
don't need to be touched.
it's
This
going to
ain't
be
this ain't
more
fucking
akin.
this ain't fucking Batman where you might need 4 or 5 new movies because the last one was trash. You know what I'm saying? Stop remaking classics. Get
They
new
say it's going.
ideas.
They said it's going to be more akin to Stephen King's actual short story. So I guess the original with Arnold Schwarzenegger was had a lot of changes from the story. And Arnold Schwarzenegger has given everybody his blessing to do it. So
No,
so
Arnold
here
Arnold
here's the
don't give a
thing.
fuck.
Yeah, yeah, I know. He made his money off that jump.
You ask Arnold like I don't give a fuck. It's a
Yeah. So
movie.
here's the thing though, like I actually don't mind. It depends on the movie. It depends on the movie. But I actually don't mind a remake. Um, I'm always going to, if they do it, I'm always going to be interested in seeing it. But I will say the majority of the time, it's not a better movie. If
I'm not gonna
anything,
like it. I already know I'm not gonna like it because I'm always in my mind. It's kind of like when you got Mike, fuck a LeBron. You get what I'm saying? You
yeah,
don't need it.
I get it. I get it. Um, I do, but yeah, I just I get that sentiment. But I just also think it can be interesting to see someone else's interpretation. It can be
Mhm.
interesting to see like if the story was changed that much to go back to the source material and pull some more things from that. Although I will say the other Arnold Schwarzenegger remake they did, Total Recall, that was supposed to
Trash.
be more about the source material, was awful.
Yeah,
So,
but that's
you
that's
know,
that's when you remake movies like that, you often miss the mark. That's the
mhm,
reality.
true that, true that. Um, I'm trying to, I, I'm trying to think of a remake that I liked, and I can't think of one. But I've seen them. I watch them just to see.
Yeah.
They did the recently. They did the Crow remake. That was
Did they?
interesting. Yeah, it
Was
was
this
interesting.
this joint was straight to Tubi?
No, no, it had a theatrical release. I saw it in the movie theaters.
Really?
I'm
Oh
a big
wow.
fan of the Crow. I've seen all the Crow movies. Only one of them
Yeah,
is good.
the
Only
first
one's
one.
good. Yeah. But
Yeah.
this one was a remake of the first one. Like
Okay.
the guy was playing the same character. But they switched the story up a bit, quite a bit, and it was an interesting interpretation, but it
Yeah, you
wasn't
can
better.
call. You
It
can
wasn't
listen.
better.
Listen to me. Let me help you out, man. It's okay to say shit's trash. I hear
I'm
you.
I
You
know,
trying
I
to be
do say
trying to
stuff is
couch your
trash.
opinion. It was
I'm not.
interesting.
It
It
was
was
interesting.
thought provoking. Just say that shit was trash. You know what I'm saying?
But it's but I really don't think it's trash because I really would watch the movie again. I would watch it again because it did some interesting things that made me think.
I've
And
watched
if it
Green
makes me,
Lantern 17,000 times, and Green
yeah,
Lantern was trash. So
Green Lantern
rewatching
was trash.
watching a
It
movie
was
more than
trash.
once don't make it not trash, Anton.
Why are you watching Green Lantern that many times?
I don't know, because sometimes it's on, and I just want to like just remind myself
But
like shit.
there's
At this
got to be
point,
something about it that you like, though. There has to be something.
at this point, I just rewatched the Batman, and you know how I feel about
That
that
movie's
fucking
great.
movie.
We already know that movie's great.
No, we don't
So
already know
we
shit.
do know that.
You
We
know
know that. Gosh, I wish I could get. I wish we. I I, I hope this podcast gets bigger so we can get people's comments because I want to hear what they have to say about you not liking the
It's
Batman.
not nobody in the world that like fucking emo
Yes,
Batman. Get the
people
fuck
like
out of
really like
here.
that movie. Um, and let me see. Oh, speaking of the Batman, I know you're not gonna have no. I know you don't care about this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. This movie, the Batman 2, has been delayed yet again.
Good.
Shooting has now been delayed until 2026. They were supposed to
Good,
start. They were
bro.
supposed to start. They said the third quarter of 2025, which I guess would be sometime this summer. I guess, or in the fall. Now it's been pushed back to 2026. I don't know, man.
You want to know how you make these Batman movies good? You just shoot him from the perspective of the villain and make Batman the feature. Like he pops up every now and then and kick somebody in the face, but his screen time should be limited.
I disagree with that.
I'm
I
just
think that
saying.
would be. I think that would be a good I don't know, like a sequence or something like that, or
Well,
like I
that's
don't
the
know if that.
precedent. That's the precedence you set with the Penguin, right? And the
Yeah,
Rogues
for sure.
Gallery is fire where they're good enough. Shit, if we look at the Joker movie, right? The
Mhm.
standalone Joker movie that came out, not part two, because part two was absolutely terrible. Um, the first one, standalone Joker movie, was fire, right?
Mhm.
These characters can carry a movie. You can have Batman play the background, right? And be this shadow that you know might pop up every now and again. But give me a movie from that perspective. I love it.
Well, yeah, that would be interesting. I think as like a standalone movie, like the Joker.
Right.
Uh, Again, I didn't mind the second one. I didn't love it, but I didn't mind it. If you want me to tell you why, I'll tell you why. But I didn't mind it. But if let's say that like the Joker should have been a standalone movie, if they would have incorporated Batman in that way, that's fine. But you can't. I don't feel like you can really do a series like that though. A series of
Why not?
movies where that's because people
Why
want more
not?
Batman. I think people want more Batman.
No, you want more Batman.
I think people
People
want
don't.
more
People.
Batman.
I think we're Batmaned out, bro.
I
We're
don't think
good.
so. I think
We're
that's a
good.
lie because the Batman made a lot of money. People like that movie. They
Hey,
went to see it.
hey, it's
So
the
people aren't
Batman.
Batmaned out.
Superman gonna make a lot of money too, and people are Supermaned out.
I hope so. People are not Supermaned out. Either you are Supermaned out.
I'm just telling
We
you the
talked about
facts.
this last week. Your timeline is off. You think the last Batman movie came out a year ago. It came out 5 years ago. The last
Hey,
Superman movie came out longer than that. Like the Justice League movie,
listen,
longer than that. It's been a long time since these movies came out.
listen. They weren't good.
That's not the point that I'm making though. And they
Okay.
were okay. The Superman movie, Man of Steel is good. Man of Steel is good. Batman and Superman, I don't like, but it has its moments. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Uh, and the Batman is good. Is a good movie. But yeah, just doing one like a couple standalone movies. Okay, I'll give you an example. In the first Suicide Squad movie, they had that like sequence where they showed Batman stopping all the criminals, and that's how they
Hmm.
got into their prison, into prison. That's kind of what you're talking about, and that would be cool if you did like a movie for each villain, and Superman
Yeah.
was kind of just like the Spectre in the background. That's dope. But that's not a Batman movie though. I need
Pete
a Batman
Pete
movie.
Pete, here we go, right? I'm gonna give you an Avengers level storyline for Batman that would be fire. Okay? You do the standalone movie for each fucking villain. You can pick. I'll let you pick three villains, right?
Hmm.
Three big name villains, right? It don't have to be Joker, Penguin, Riddler, XYZ. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We can do Victor Zsasz. You know what I'm saying? We could do whoever we want. Three standalone, right? Batman is a shadow in all these movies, and you don't show the movies from Batman's perspective, but you show them realizing that Batman is trying to stop their actions,
Hmm.
right? End of all those movies essentially all end with Batman saving the day, putting these people down. You tie it together. Now all these villains that you have now built these arcs for are all in Arkham Asylum together.
Hmm.
Somehow there's a breakout, or you can have the kind of like the video game where there's a riot inside the asylum, and
Yeah.
all of them are working there doing what they do inside the asylum, and Batman has to come in and pretty much quash the riot.
Yeah. That's dope.
Fire,
That's dope. That's I
fire.
mean yeah. That's that's the like Grant Morrison's Arkham Asylum comic,
Yes,
right? So like yeah,
yes,
that will work. I'm cool with that.
yeah. See,
Yeah.
this is
But
what
the
I
but
do,
the
man.
but but the
Somebody sign me.
but the movie that culminates everything is is the is the Batman movie.
Yeah,
That's
and
not
you
the
can
movie where
literally
we
have zero Bruce Wayne.
absolutely. I mean, yeah, for sure. That's a great idea. Write it.
Amen. Amen.
Write it. I'm sure they're looking for
Hey.
stories. I do think at this point, going back to the Batman 2, I I really do want to see a sequel, but I think we might as well just James Gunn is trying to build this whole new thing. Let's just skip
All
that
they're gonna do is
and
reboot
do the
it
new
in three
Batman.
years. All
Do
they're
the
gonna
new
do is
Batman.
reboot it in 3 years anyway.
I mean, not if it makes the money. If Superman makes the money it's supposed to make, they won't. They'll be on. They'll be on to something. So,
Okay.
let me see. My last bit of news. Like I said, slow news week, guys. But Amazon Prime uh just got the rights for a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon TV series adaptation. Um, it is so Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is part of it's called the Crane Iron Pentology novel series. And Crouching
Hmm.
Tiger, Hidden Dragon is actually the fourth book in that series. So they're going to be um they're going to be navigating through the other books, but the first part of the series will basically be a retelling of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I brought that up because I love Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I
I
love that
hated it.
movie.
Fucking hated that
Really?
movie.
Nah,
Yes.
that movie was great, man.
There were parts of the movie I like. Some parts of the movie I don't like the whole fake ninja shit where you jumping from rooftop to rooftop off one toe. Like I don't like that. I don't
I
like
mean,
that.
but
I've
that's
never liked it.
Chinese cinema. That's Chinese martial arts cinema, though.
Cool.
That's how they do it.
Leave it where it came from.
It's not a, but it can't. Where that movie came from is where it was filmed, using those people who do that. What do you
Do
mean?
it better. I don't
That
know.
was a that
Listen,
was a foreign film. It wasn't an American film. It was a foreign film.
listen.
That's what
Wasn't a
they
good
do.
movie. Wasn't a good movie.
It's not true. It was a good movie. It was a very good movie. And I mean, you don't like the wire shit
Here's
and stuff,
listen.
but
I'm
that's
giving
what
you
they do
here's
over
I
there.
got a homework assignment for you. Right,
Okay.
a homework assignment for you is
Mhm.
next show. I need you to come on here and list 5 movies that you actually thought were trash. Because you
Okay.
refuse to say a movie is trash. So I want you. No, you don't
That's
listen.
not
Don't even speak to it right now.
that's not
Think on it.
true though.
Think on it. Think on it. Come on here. Come on here. Next. Whenever we decide to film the next episode, and give me your top 5 trash
So,
superhero sci-fi
but can I
movie.
can I at least explain? Because you're not the first person to tell me this. Like I
Because
got a
there's a reason.
I got a friend who I discuss movies with who says the same thing. And so you got to understand, like, I I have a educational background in film studies.
Hmm.
So
You
when
trying
I
to
look at
flex?
movies, I'm not trying to flex. I'm just telling you how I look at movies. When I look at movies, I part of what I see is the work that went in,
Hmm.
and also the what people were at least trying to do. I get what you were trying to do, and then sometimes those things don't happen the way you want to. So it's hard for me to watch a movie and be like, this was absolutely terrible. Like, I'll give you, for instance, I saw the Snow White movie the other week.
Okay.
It's not great, but it ain't all that bad either. Like the
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
the story isn't good, but the performances actually were really good. Like
yeah. Let me
these
let me
people
let
put
me let me
time
let
into their
me.
characters and stuff, man.
I'm
Like,
gonna try
you
to
got to
help
give
you
them their props.
understand how it comes across, right?
Okay.
Let's say you, Anton Tate, you pay somebody to build you a house, right?
Hmm.
You pay these people to build you a house. They build you. They start to build the house. They build the house. You get in the house. Fucking roof blows off, right?
Hmm.
You're not gonna say, "Yo, I see what you was trying to do, and I appreciate the work that you put into this," but you gonna be like, "Yo, you fucked up," right? That's the logic.
It's not the logic,
70,
and
it
I'll
is the
tell you why
logic.
it's not.
That's the
I'll
logic.
tell you
That's the
why it's
logic.
not.
That's how the logic should go.
Building a
If you
house.
if you go get some food, you go get a cheesesteak. You go get a
Yeah.
cheesesteak, bro, and you order this cheesesteak the way you want it, right? You say, yo, want fucking salt, pepper, ketchup, little bit of mayo, Cooper Sharp. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
On a toasted roll. That's how you want it. You know what I'm saying? And they give you this John, and it's soggy. You're not gonna be like, yo, I appreciate. I get it, bro. I appreciate the work you put into making this cheesesteak for me, and I'm gonna eat it because of the work that you put into it. You gonna be like, no, this fucking trash.
Okay, so
So
listen.
so fuck all the work
Wait.
that what goes into making these movies. They get paid to do that.
I
They
Yeah.
already been complimented enough.
So
If you miss the mark, it's trash.
look, man. Your logic isn't as sound as you think it is.
Hey
For
man,
this reason. For this reason. Both of the situations you just said are situations where I've asked someone to craft something for me
mm-hmm.
personally. These movies aren't crafted for me personally.
Bro, I've
They're
been
crafted
asking
by
for these movies for my entire.
of course,
Yeah.
I have too, but they're still not crafted by me. Like, I'm not like, give me this, give me this, give me this.
Mm-hmm.
Someone I'm trusting someone to take material and their own creativity and their own skills and knowledge and um make something good. And I
Cool. So
just
you
know that
ask somebody,
sometimes it just doesn't
you
happen the way you
you
want
don't
to.
have a blueprint, nothing like that. You just say, "Yo, I need a house," and then they build you a house, and the house ain't got no roof. You're not gonna say, "Yo, I didn't specifically ask for a roof."
But
The fucking house should have a roof.
this ain't a
What you
house.
not-
This isn't a house. It's a movie. Like, those aren't good analogies.
Okay.
It's just not that serious. The
All right.
movie is never
Listen,
as
homework
serious
assignment.
as
Five
as a
trash
house.
movies. Five trash
I mean,
movies.
I know five trash movies. I know five
As
trash
the- as-
movies for sure. I know five trash
what
movies.
else? What else we got?
That's all of the news
That's
I
it.
got. That's the end of the news.
Okay.
Unless you heard something that I didn't hear, because like I said, wasn't much going on.
Yeah. Dry
So
week.
dry week. It's all good. So we can get into the movie of the week then,
Yes, sir.
which was it was your pick from last week. Star Wars: The Return of the Jedi. I guess technically it's Star Wars Episode 6,
Six.
Return of the
Six.
Jedi.
Yes.
So give the usual rundown here. This movie came out in 1983. Um, Directed by George Marquand, written by Lawrence Kasdan and George Lucas, score by the legendary John Williams, starring Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Billy D. Williams, Frank. I missed Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher, Frank Oz as Yoda. James Earl Jones was the voice of Darth Vader. Budget was 43 million, grossed 482 million in 1983. So
That's
that's
a house. That's a house
well
with a
over
roof.
$1 billion. Well over $1 billion when adjusted for inflation.
Cheesesteak
Uh,
make well.
yeah. Steven Spielberg. Some trivia. Steven Spielberg was the first person that George Lucas wanted to direct this, but George Lucas left the Directors Guild of America, and Spielberg was in a feud with them, so the DGA banned Spielberg from directing this movie.
Mm.
And this movie's great. Imagine if Steven Spielberg directed this, John. Raiders of the Lost Ark had just been released, and that made Harrison Ford a huge star. So Han Solo actually wasn't written into the original script because George Lucas didn't think Harrison Ford would come back. But Kasdan, the other writer, he convinced Ford to do the movie because he was a producer on Raiders of the Lost Ark. The original title was Revenge of the Jedi. It was even on the promotional material. It was on the first promo as well, but Lucas decided that a Jedi would never seek revenge. So, but that title was eventually used for Episode 3, Return of the Sith, or I'm sorry, Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
Kasdan and Ford wanted Han to die at the beginning of the third act, but Lucas said a dead Han would hurt merchandising, so he lived. And then it lost all the Oscars that it was up for, but it won a Special Achievement Oscar for special effects. So basically, that means they didn't really like they did such amazing work. They had to make up an Oscar to give to this film, which I thought was dope. Give us your review, man.
All right, here we go.
Return of the Jedi.
First and foremost, right? Star Wars use of instruments in their soundtracks is
Man,
fucking epic. Right?
phenomenal, phenomenal.
So and here's the thing. I'm literally watching this today. And I'm telling one of my friends, one of my coworkers, like, yeah, we're gonna review Return of the Jedi today. And unbeknownst to me, like I've experienced it, but she's like, yo, the sound work is amazing.
Crazy.
And once somebody tells you that and you lock in on it, you like, oh, holy shit. Like whoever was playing these trumpets, bro, deserves a raise. That's the first thing. Um the story in itself, right? Typical story that you expect from a sci-fi movie, young hero comes of age, challenges the evil. There's some redemption arcs in the storyline. All the character arcs are closed out, right? Properly.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Yep.
lot to like. Opening scene, the opening I'm not even gonna call it the opening scene. The first act, shall we
Yeah.
say,
Mm-hmm.
fire, right? Um, you get introduced. Well, you don't get introduced, but Jabba as a villain, Boba Fett,
Mm-hmm.
right? Introduction of this new mature Luke Skywalker, right?
Yep.
Kind of gives you everything you need
The
in the first
Rancor.
act. Fuck is down there. Fucking Rancor. What movie is that from?
I don't
Outside
know.
of Star. Listen, one of the greatest lines ever. One of the most funniest lines ever. Pineapple Express, right?
Oh,
When they tie him up and they're taking him up into the factory, and I can't remember what his character's name is, with the guy with the long hair, and they like
James
go down in
Franco.
the basement. James Franco, he's like, "What the fuck is down there? A fucking raincore, bro." I
I
cried. I laughed. I
I've
laughed to
only
this
seen that
day.
movie one time. I don't remember
Oh,
that.
you
I've only
listen.
seen it once.
Pineapple Express. So look, and I don't mean to get off topic, but Pineapple Express is a movie that every time you watch it, you'll find something new and funny about it. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, the Rancor, uh, one of the greatest, probably the greatest space flight fight scenes in American cinema.
Mhm.
Um, just a lot. It's a lot to like about this movie. Now there's some flaws, right? A lot of plot holes and plot armor, shall we
Mhm.
say, given to the main characters. Um, but I can't be too mad at it because it came out in 83. 83, this movie is ahead of its time.
Way ahead of his time. Yeah. Uh, this might be I don't know. This might be the first movie we completely agree on everything. I think that's what I wrote in my notes. This movie is epic. It's such a big movie. Part of the reason it's epic though is you're right. It's the music. The
Yes. Oh
music
yeah,
is just
bro.
the music
Perfect.
is everything.
Perfect. The music. I mean, the music sets the mood.
Yeah. Every
It
time.
sets the
Yeah, yeah.
tone for every scene.
Yeah. Yeah. So so I definitely agree with you on that. I'm gonna try to remember the some of the points you made, but like so the beginning,
Hmm.
I actually do think the beginning's a little slow, but it's also so necessary that you really can't knock it. Like everything that happened there, like we needed that. We
Yeah.
needed that to catch us up and to move the
Hmm.
story along at the same time. So it's like I was talking to my
So
nephew because he was saying that it's so slow, and I was like, yeah, you're right, but like, man, if we didn't have it, where would the rest of the story be?
so little tidbit for you, right?
Hmm.
You think the beginning is slow, but the original thought for this movie was the beginning. That was supposed to be a
Sure.
standalone movie, right?
Hmm.
Luke and Han, I mean Luke and Leia and Lando essentially saving Han from Jabba and Django was essentially supposed to be the entire movie. With
Boba,
with
Boba Fett.
with I'm sorry, Boba. With Boba Fett being the main villain.
Hmm.
That was supposed to be the original movie, right? And
Hmm.
it wasn't supposed to be just a trilogy, right? It was supposed to be like we're gonna get as many movies. If the logic was to get as many movies out of this thing as possible, that was going to be a standalone movie, and I think that would have been fire. But I think that's why
Yeah,
it's slow. That's why it starts off slow because the original line of thought was like we're going to make this an entire movie out of
got you.
this first
I mean,
act,
it is the whole first act of the film. It's a
right?
that whole thing goes almost 40 minutes.
Right.
But like I I'm not saying that to say I have a problem. I have no problems with it. I just think like I think it's too important to the overall story to not have it in there. Um you're like we're reintroducing characters. These characters have changed over time. Luke is not the same Luke we last saw. Leia is not the same Leia. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Lando's definitely not the same Lando we saw. You know what I mean? Like he's part of the team. Like it's we needed it. We needed it, and it's slow, but I thought it was great.
I,
Um,
before you close out the first act, I'm gonna say
yeah,
this: Luke's plan was fucking trash.
trash,
Right?
absolute trash. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I swear,
It
I
doesn't
know
make
I'm the
sense.
only person that thought that. I was like,
Yeah,
okay, first he sends in the droids. Now, what if Jabba was like, cool, I'll take that trade. Here go Han. Now you gonna kill Jabba?
yeah, yeah.
Like, what's gonna happen with that?
Like it doesn't make sense. It
It doesn't
doesn't
make
make
sense.
sense. You talked about the plot holes. That is a plot hole. Like it doesn't make sense for him to come in so late,
Like
or even send in Leia at all.
he sent
Really,
in Leia. What if
don't
Jabba was
send in
like,
Leia.
"Oh, you want to break in the crib? Bang!"
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it doesn't make much sense. But again, I think the point
Lando's
of it
there
is
undercover the entire time and does nothing.
it does nothing. Yeah.
Like, bro, you couldn't warn me. It's a hole with a rancor. Like, like, give me a hand wave. Yo,
Yeah.
the fuck.
But I think that uh even though that is a plot hole, the point was again to show the growth of these characters, the change that these
Agreed,
characters
and
have. Right.
it hit his mark.
But some other trivia I saw. Speaking of the Rancor, when the dancing slave, chained up slave lady falls into the
Hmm.
pit.
Yeah,
So, if you watched did you watch the newer version where he added all the different CGI stuff?
that is the
So
original.
they show that lady. She's got the chain. She's pulling it, and she falls in.
Mm-hmm.
That's from 1983 or 82,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
Then when they show her in the pit, that's the new stuff they added. That's the same lady, like 15 years later. Like they said, like she didn't change 15 years apart. She looks exactly the same, so they just dressed her up again. I thought that
okay.
was pretty interesting. But so just some thoughts I wrote down. You touched on this. The space fight scene. Two things. The space fight scene is the best in all of Star Wars. It is in this
Facts.
movie.
Answer. Agreed.
Also, though, think about this. There had never been anything like that before. Like that, this is stuff that I think about when I watch this movie. Like this is the first time this was done. That fight scene is better than the space fight scene in the first one. So
Correct.
that means they added more. They figured out how to do it better. Like there before 1983, there was nothing like that before. No one had ever seen anything like that. I think that's amazing. Um, the I really love the speeder chase scene
The speeder
on
scene was
Endor.
fire. On Endor,
I actually
fire.
think that speeder chase scene on Endor is better than the racer scene in episode 1, the pod race scene.
I would agree. I'd agree.
I just there's something about it, man. You know what it is? I think it's the POV we get. Like every
Mm-hmm.
now and then we'll get a POV of just like the tree, the forest moving off fast.
Yeah.
It just there's something about that scene that I've always really liked. Um, the Ewoks.
Oh, my guys.
I gotta be honest with you, man. I like the Ewoks. Like I
Listen,
think I think a lot of people would be like, that's the part of the movie that's like maybe for the kids or whatever. I think the Ewoks are dope. I like everything they do.
well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You want to hate the Ewoks,
Yeah,
but how can you? Right?
I don't know.
One,
Yeah,
all right. They fuzzy, they cute.
mhm.
They give off this. Oh, look at. But then they was fucking shit up at the same
Yeah,
time.
I know.
The
Right? Yeah.
they you don't want smoke with the Ewoks, cuz not on
Yeah,
Endor.
yeah. So two more thoughts. Two more thoughts. Again, back to the aerial battle scene. Give me more Wedge Antilles, man. We should have had more Wedge Antilles in this series.
You
Okay.
need more General
What
what's the name?
I know
Akbar.
about Wedge Antilles is he was originally written into the script for the first Star Wars movie. Him and Luke Skywalker were best friends. And
Okay.
it was like their movie, and he was supposed to be like he's supposed to move into like the military aspect of the rebels, and then Luke was moving on to like the Jedi aspect. That
Jedi.
was how it was supposed to be. So Wedge Antilles is in, I think he's in all three movies, I believe, but like he gets a lot more kind of time in this one. I like that character a lot. Also, the guy who plays Wedge Antilles is the uncle of Ewan McGregor, who plays Obi-Wan. And my very last thing is, I got last thought. I got kind of sad almost after watching this because I'm wondering if these Star Wars movies are outdated now. And what I mean is, like, for us, they're still great. Like, I watched them. I can still watch them all the time. They're great. Uh, but for a newer generation, are they going to want to go back and watch these Star Wars movies, or are they going to have to just go to the new Star Wars movies that they have
What
now?
what
This new
what
trilogy,
brings about that thought though?
just like the CGI.
Hmm.
Um, I can watch stuff like this and suspend disbelief and understand like the time period and all that stuff, and just understand this is just how it was, and I can still love it and still see how innovative it was. But a kid a kid a guy like my nephew who's 20, and he's used to a different type of computer generated images and special effects, may look at that and be like, this is corny and cheesy, and so it takes him out of the movie. And I hope that that's not the case, but I kind of can see that being the case, and then it'll be a movie that maybe loses its luster in the coming generations.
So I think what you're saying though is a little bit um not outdated, but so like yes, this the CGI, the special effects are a little bit dated, right? But that's because we were also remembering it in the order in which we watched it, right?
Hmm.
Episode 6 was was the third movie release of the trilogy, right?
Episode 6.
Episodes,
No,
yeah,
episode
because
6
they
was the yeah, episode 6. Yeah,
right
it was third movie. Yep. Yep.
the first three movies now are actually dated in terms of CGI
Right.
and special effects.
Right.
So if you watch it in chronological order, right,
Hmm.
you always already grow to like it, and you want the backstory to continue it,
Yeah.
right? Whereas we got that, and then we got this.
Hmm.
So I think if you watch, it's just how you watch it now that might differ. Like once you're
Yeah.
hooked, you're hooked. You know what I'm saying?
So I guess that's my question. Like, if I were to take a person who's I don't know, a young person, 13 years old today, and it's going to be the first time they ever watch Star Wars,
Mm-hmm.
and I do it in the order that I grew up with, will they be hooked like I was because of how it looks?
Maybe
I
not.
think this, I, and I don't, and I hate that. I hate that.
But if they
Like, I
watch
hate
it, but
that.
they won't. But here's the thing: they don't have to, right? They can start.
That's
And I
true.
know a lot of people disrespect. I'm gonna call it disrespect. Phantom Menace, right? But Phantom Menace, in my, I love Phantom Menace, right?
I don't know
It
why.
starts off. It starts off. Listen, you can say what you want. The pod race scene was fire. Darth Maul is fire.
Yeah.
The fight scenes are fire,
Yeah.
right? So once you get hooked. And then it's like, okay, now that I'm hooked, I can deal with the outdated CGI of episodes 3 through 6,
I see what you're saying.
as opposed to if you start me off with outdated stuff, it's harder for me to get hooked.
I got you. I got what you're saying. So the formula is to start with episode 1. That's what you're
Correct.
saying.
Because
My my only problem with that is episode 1 isn't that good.
I disagree.
It's not that good.
I
And episode
disagree.
2 is worse. So I actually would start someone with episode 3 and then go from there. I would totally forget
No,
episode 1 and 2.
you gotta
Well,
get
well
you one.
you got to show them Darth Maul. You got to
You
show them
gotta
Darth
give him
Maul.
Darth Maul.
Yes,
The episode
but
one had you
then I
gotta
would
give
just
him the
explain what
Qui
happened.
Gon Jinn Obi-Wan Obi Wan fight scene at the end,
I would give them that, and that's it.
right? Nah, you gotta give it all, bro. Episode one,
I
low
don't like the
key,
movie.
is probably one of the most underrated Star Wars movies, bro. When you break it down, right? The intro, the act one of that movie where they show up, where Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon show up on the Republic spaceship, and they try to lock them in, and they're fighting the
Yeah.
droids.
Yeah.
Fire, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
You can say what you want about Jar Jar, right? But that first underwater scene when they get into the little submarine thing, and they're showing you the actual underwater creatures of the Star Wars Enterprise,
Hmm.
and fire, right?
Yep.
The introduction of Padme, right, and her guard, right, fire, right. Your
Probably.
first, your first, your first, your first introduction of Anakin in a spaceship by accident,
Hmm.
right, when it just takes off, fire. Like it's a fire movie, bro.
So here's my issue. Here's my issue with the prequel trilogy. Except honestly, except for Revenge of the Sith, I love that movie. Um, those movies are important to the story. They're important because before them, all we really knew, if you just watched the movies, was Darth Vader was a Jedi. He turned bad, but
Mhm.
they flesh it out so much more. It was so much deeper than that. It was such a more deeper infiltration of the system, and we did need to learn that, and that is an interesting aspect to the story. My problem with those two movies are, I think the idea is great, the plan was good, the execution is bad.
No, I think I think
That's
I
my
think
problem. I think the
I
execution was bad, especially from like a lot of times from an acting standpoint, especially in the second movie in Attack of the Clones, where like so let me back up. The first movie was much more, even though it had Darth Maul and it had these more serious aspects, it was much more of a kiddie friendly movie. Jar Jar Binks was for the kids. He's goofy. He's goofy
bro,
from
you gonna
Disney,
get a goofy
right?
character every now and again.
No, and that's fine because that's what it was. Anakin was a child, so it was they were supposed to have that. The pod racing was supposed to be cool for kids to see it, and it was right. So that was it, and that was fine. The second movie, you bump Anakin up to be a teenager, and now it's like this teen angst movie. So again, the plan is solid, the idea is solid, the execution is bad. Like
I think
what
you're
what
looking
you
at
had
it from
what
you're
you had
looking at
Hayden
it.
Christensen doing was not it didn't connect. I don't think it connected with people like the way except for his anger when he goes and kills all the what are they called? All the
I don't know their names.
desert
I know
people.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You like it's almost hard to like him in any type of way. And it's
that's how it's
hard to
supposed.
see,
That's the goal.
but it no, you're supposed to like him and understand his anger and where it comes from and why he finally went the way he went. That's what you're
Bro.
supposed to do. And you really don't get that understanding until the third movie. The second movie is just like he's just an angry teenager, and you don't even understand why, at least me, I don't even understand why Padme would even fall in love with him.
Can't
Not to
control who
mention
you
their
love, though.
age, the age gap thing isn't explained, and that's weird. But besides that, why did she fall in love with this whiny teenager who has temper tantrums? It wasn't well executed. But in the third one, everything started to make sense. Everything started to come together. The plan was executed the right way, and so that's why the prequel trilogy, in my eyes, is important and is something you need to watch. But if I was a kid, the first one wouldn't have really hooked me. I don't feel
I see.
like not the story wise.
I disagree, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I know we doing. I know we doing Return of the Jedi, but I think
Yeah, but we
the
agree that that
prequel
movie's a
is
masterpiece. We
fire.
agree
It's
with
fire,
that. Yeah,
right? So, like I said, you get characters that outside of Darth Vader are like Episode 2 gave you Yoda's best movie. That's Yoda's
yeah,
best movie,
yeah.
hands down. Right?
Hmm.
you get General Grievous, right? Who in my mind is one of the best villains in the Star Wars.
Except you don't know anything about him.
You don't need to. You don't actually don't even
You
need
kind of
to,
do.
bro.
You kind of
He's
do.
fire. Bro. You get you get you get everything you want. They tell you the story of the clones, where they came from. Like
Mhm.
I get, and I think a lot of it is you're looking at it from a perspective of what you started with and comparing it to that, right? You're comparing it to New Hope, and you know what I'm saying, the actual first trilogy, which is the second
I don't
trilogy
think
in
that's
chronology,
true.
and
I don't think
and
that's true. No, I'm not. I'm not comparing them. I'm saying that
I think it's you might not be doing it.
there just always seems to be something is a little off with those two movies. Something isn't hitting the way it's supposed to be. Like it's like it's like I'll give you an example. Probably the only maybe flaw in Return of the Jedi is there's a lot of exposition that is it's necessary but it's not interesting. So like for instance, when that long conversation that Luke and Leia have where he finally tells her that he's her sister and Vader is their father. Like it's necessary for us to get there because we got to
Mhm.
figure out from the second movie how all this is coming together and how they're all what the story is. But it's not interestingly uh put together visually in any way. It's just cameras back and forth and a lot of speaking and you got to listen and you know that's what I think happens with these movies. It's like there's so much you're naming all the interesting parts, but these are 2-hour movies and
What
you've
happened?
only
What happened
named
to
like
I
four
see the work
things.
that you put
You
in,
hold on, hold
and I
on,
don't need a
hold on.
roof.
Hold on, let me get to my point. You're picking out the most interesting things visually, but in the grand scheme of the story, the whole thing isn't very interesting. And it's not like so like you said in Phantom Menace, you said like the first fight scene on the spaceship, the underwater city, the
Mhm.
pod race, and the part uh with Darth Maul, the last fight scene, Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan
So
Kenobi.
Qui-Gon Jinn, in himself, fire character.
Everything
Obi-Wan,
but
young
what about
Obi-Wan,
but
who's
hold on.
rebellious, shows you why he actually takes on. Like
Yeah.
it's
But hold
here.
on. But wait, what you just did was you told me about two things that happened more towards the beginning of the movie, and then two things that happened more towards the end of the movie. But the middle of the movie, even though the information is important and how things are displayed to us are important for the story, they're not interesting. So it gets kind of boring and it doesn't hit the way that I feel like it should have hit. Not based on the other Star Wars movies because we're getting way more intricate in these prequel movies. We're getting into government and politics and all that stuff. And I don't think that stuff has to be boring, but the way they portrayed it, the way they laid it out was kind of boring. Yeah, it had decent action set pieces. It had decent scenes. Even the second one has decent scenes. The Yoda scene is amazing. Uh, but full on as a movie, it has pacing issues. It has exposition issues, and it just gets boring. Whereas the third one, I don't think has as much of that, and it has uh, much more interesting scenes, especially the fight scene between Obi-Wan and Anakin, which I don't know if it's the best lightsaber duel, but it is the
What
most
is what
profound and
is
prolific.
what's your favorite
Oh,
lightsaber duel in
I
Star
don't
Wars?
know. I don't know. No, that one is,
That's your
but
favorite.
I'm willing to say that there may be some other ones. Like a lot of people didn't like the Alkalite series, but they
Mhm.
had some cool duels on that show. At the very least, they had some cool lightsaber duels. Um, some people like the Last Jedi lightsaber fight scene at the end. I think it's fine, but no, the Obi-Wan and Anakin is not only my favorite, but it is, I think it's the most important.
It is definitely
It's
the
the
most
most
important.
important
Definitely the most important.
duel. And then the second most important is the one we saw tonight, Vader
Mhm.
and Luke Skywalker. So
Let me ask you
yeah,
this. Let me throw this at you from
yeah,
Return of the Jedi's perspective, getting back on
yeah.
track.
Mhm,
So the redemption arc of Anakin, right?
mhm.
Can you murder and kill for 30 plus years, and then because you save your son, now you just redeemed? Is that a fair redemption?
Well, the only way I can think about it is because I do get what you're saying, but the only way I can think about it is this: it's not just that he saved his son; he also saved the galaxy, and he balanced out the force. He rebalanced the force. So, and that was what his duty was. That's what he was born to do in the beginning. So, I mean, that's what happens. But then at the same time, doesn't like the Force Awakens kind of contradict that?
Oh, 100% does.
So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
My
That
man
was
killed
always
a
kind of,
temple full of kids.
yeah,
And you know what?
yeah,
That's cool, bro. We appreciate you. Come on into the light side. You could be in this Jedi heaven that we got popping over here.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I just think from just like what I know about Star Wars,
Mhm.
balancing the Force is would be more important for the Force.
Mhm.
So it would be like, yeah, that's why he gets his redemption. But no, you're right. He did a. I mean, shoot, if you read the comics, he did a lot worse stuff than that.
Facts.
He was a animal. I also, I also thought this. My favorite Star Wars movies are Darth Vader centric. So like the Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and then I know a lot of people didn't like it, but the Obi-Wan series are my favorite. Like really kind of my favorites in the oh and Revenge of the Sith are my favorite Star Wars stuff. Because I think Darth Vader is my favorite character.
Well, we'll put that to the test.
Okay, that's fine. I like tests. I like tests. Matter of fact, I got some homework, right? I gotta find five trash movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Got it.
Not gonna happen. You're gonna
I'm on
totally
it.
forget about it.
No,
You're
I'm
gonna
not.
come
I
back,
wrote it down.
come
I
back
wrote it
next week.
down. I'm gonna find five trash movies.
Overall,
Absolutely.
what do you rate this movie?
Uh, 10 out of 10. I give it a 10 out of 10. It's great. Like I just think I don't know. Every movie will have its flaws, but this doesn't have the flaws that really stand out because so much of it is so well done, from the acting to the action to the
Mhm.
special effects to the music. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
I
epic.
I
It's an
agree.
epic
I
movie.
agree, and I agree with exactly what you just said. Right? Every movie has plot holes, right?
Hmm.
But the best movies make you not care,
Hmm.
right? Like I can identify these plot holes, and guess what? I don't give a shit.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I agree with
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Um,
Great movie. Great pick. Um, I don't know. You picked this movie. I have to pick the movie next. Is
before
that
we
what it
pick the
is?
next movie, yes, yes, that is how it works. Before we do, before we can close it out, right?
Yeah.
I have a little game I want to play, right?
Okay. Okay.
So we are going to do a Star Wars draft.
Oh, okay.
Pick and pick,
Gotcha.
pick and pick, bounce back and forth. We'll do our starting five and our sixth man.
Mhm.
Um, and of course, mine will probably be better.
Of course.
But
Yeah.
since I decided on the game, now granted, you can pick anybody from the Star Wars canon. We'll go canon, right?
Mhm.
Um, I'll let you have the first pick, and
I can pick any character
any
for my
character,
team at all.
any character.
Easy, Darth Vader.
Darth Vader. Okay.
First round pick.
First round pick, Darth Vader. Um, Give me Darth Maul.
Okay. How many rounds we got? How many picks
So we
we
going
got?
six. We going
Six
just
rounds.
six.
Okay, second round pick. Are we differentiating Vader and Anakin?
Yeah. No, you
No.
can't.
Okay. You know,
You
just
well,
saying. I'm just saying
clearly
that.
it's your
You know,
favorite character. You want him. You want
yeah,
two of them.
yeah. Uh, Dang man. I guess any character at all, right?
Any character.
I gotta go Obi-Wan for my second.
Tough. Actually, might have. Okay. All right. I'm sticking with your line of thought. Not gonna go off. Not gonna stray. Um, Give me Mace Windu.
That's a good one. Uh, okay. Oh, so another question. Only from the movies? We're
No,
only picking from the movies? All the Star Wars.
Anything that's Star Wars canon.
All the Star Wars. Okay. Third pick then for me is going to be um uh dang, why can't I think of her name? Uh oh my gosh. Oh, Asajj Ventress. Asajj
Asajj
Ventress.
Ventress. Tough pick. Okay. You gonna go Asajj?
Yeah.
Let me go. I'm going to Mandalorian.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Like the Mandalorian, like the what's his name?
Mando.
Mando.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Got you. It's a good one. I'm gonna go Mandalorian, then I'm gonna go Boba Fett.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, my fourth.
Uh I'm gonna go Chewbacca.
Chewie. All right, we're getting into the later rounds here. I gotta say, I'm feeling my list right now, dog.
I like my
my
list though.
list, my list is dope, yo. Okay. All right. Ahsoka. Ahsoka Tano.
Okay. Um Give me give me Yoda.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Last pick.
Okay, I'm gonna go deep. I'm gonna go pause. I'm gonna go deep into the mythologies here and go with Quinlan Voss.
Okay. Okay. Uh I'm not gonna match you. I'ma go R2D2.
R2D2. All right.
R2D2.
Well, I won for sure.
I don't think
I
you
for
won.
sure won. You got me
I
with
mean,
Yoda,
we're not talking about
but I won for
this.
sure.
This wasn't a fight. It was just who has the six best characters.
And I won for sure.
One R2 is probably the most underrated. R2 should have
For
been
sure.
the number
He's a
two pick,
survivor. He's a
right?
survivor.
Yes, right. The the best. I got the best Jedi. I got the best two Jedi. Actually, you know
No,
what I'm
you
saying?
don't.
Yeah,
You
I
do not
do.
have the best two Jedis.
I got Yoda and Mace. Who you
I
got?
got Kenobi and Vader.
Yoda and Mace is better than Kenobi and Vader.
First of all, for real, besides Yoda, Kenobi is the best Jedi. For real.
Are you
He's
tripping?
100% the best Jedi.
And
For
what?
sure.
Listen, just
In
because he's
in
been in
in
the
every
movies.
in everything that a Jedi is supposed to do and be,
Mm-hmm.
it's all encompassed in Kenobi.
No,
It is.
nah,
He is the best Jedi.
nah,
Yes, he is.
nah.
And he beat Maul. He beat Vader. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like he's the best
And
Jedi.
Mace
Beat
Windu
Vader
trash.
twice, actually.
Who?
He beat
First of all,
oh he
Vader.
no
Vader clearly
he beat Vader and Maul twice.
he beat
Twice.
he beat Maul on a 2v1.
And then
Solo Maul would have trashed him.
that's not true, right? There's
I
actual
don't know
evidence.
that's not true. And
There's
that's
actual evidence of that he's the one that killed Maul the last time where Maul's actually dead and he beat
bro.
him in 2.5
He
seconds.
he he was cut in half like 7 times by then. He was half robot.
No. So
Yeah,
okay. So hold on, man. So you
yeah.
see so first of all, he was half robot, but then the what do you call them? The
The
witches,
Dark Sisters. Yeah.
the Dark Sisters got him his legs back. So he
Bro,
was whole
he
again.
wasn't the same Maul,
He was
bro.
whole again,
Maul
and when
from
he
episode 1 was a stone cold killer, and nobody was gonna solo him, especially not fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
well, hold on a second. Obi-Wan did solo kill him in the
He
first
didn't solo
episode.
kill him.
Yes,
Bro,
he
he was
did. You're
bro,
misrepresenting the situation
bro. He was getting
because
trashed.
he killed Qui-Gon, and then he sat there. They were waiting for the barriers
You're tripping, bro.
to
You're
go up.
tripping.
They went head to head. He knocked him into the little hole joint, but he stayed there. He jumped out and
Listen.
sliced him in half. That's one on one.
Point
He wasn't
taken.
fighting with Qui-Gon
Point taken.
and Kenobi.
Neither Obi-Wan ain't want no smoke with Mace Windu.
I
And
don't think
Vader
that's
ain't
true
want no
either.
smoke with. It is true.
I don't think that's true either. Mace Windu was nice though, but come on, man. Obi-Wan Kenobi was that guy. And yes, he did. And again, you must not have seen it, and that's fine. I'll show you the evidence. He beats Maul
I've seen it. I know what
in
you're talking about.
5 seconds.
It's not the same Maul. It's the Maul. That's the Maul that was was talking to us. He went crazy
It's
at this
also not the
point.
same Kenobi because he was stronger and better.
Cool. That's my point.
And he beat him one-on-one when he wasn't as strong. So what is your point? I don't understand. I don't understand your point.
Mine is
I
blown.
don't get it.
Mine is blown right now.
My mind is blown, absolutely blown.
Chewie,
I think the only one you really got me on is Yoda.
I got
Well, Yoda and
Chewie
Maul.
and
I'll give you Yoda and Maul.
R2D2.
Great characters.
Two of the greatest characters in Star Wars.
I got Ahsoka and Boba Fett.
Ahsoka, not even she didn't
What do
even
you
make
mean?
she made half a movie.
She has a TV series.
She's
She's got
she
an
couldn't
entire
get in the
TV
movies.
series. She wasn't in the movies because she wasn't created till the cartoon came out. And in the cartoon, she's a fan favorite because she's a dope character.
She's ass.
She's not ass, and
She's
she does
ass.
have her own series.
And Mando's way better than fucking Boba Fett. Mando was actually a leader of the Mandalorians. He had the dark saber. Boba Fett was the assassin. Get out of here.
I mean, I don't know. That's debatable. I don't know. I don't know. That's debatable. Okay. I'm not going to give that to you, but I'll say it's debatable. Okay. Boba Fett is.
Well, listen. When
definitely a more popular character.
When this show airs, there will be comments. There will be people.
I hope
in the
so.
comments
I can't wait to see them.
Telling you that my list is better.
My list is way better. Way better. But that's cool. You got me on Yoda though, for sure. But my second round pick trumps your first two.
No, it doesn't.
Come on, dog.
No, it doesn't.
He beat Mace Windu twice and killed him. Come on, man. I'm surprised you didn't pick Grievous.
I was gonna go Grievous, but Darth Maul's a better character than Grievous, and that's saying a lot. In terms, what do you mean, huh? What do you mean?
I don't know if it's saying a lot.
It's saying a lot. Grievous was an excellent character.
Grievous is cool.
What movie we doing next week?
Oh yeah. I was just looking at my list. Hold on. I got a list of a bunch of movies that I was looking at. So let me ask you first though.
Hmm.
Should we go like newer movies, or do you care if it's a newer movie or older movie like we just watched?
I think to date we've done a lot of older movies, so maybe we go a little bit more
Go
current.
something a little newer.
Mhm.
All right. Um, but I also like to make them kind of controversial. I want to make sure we may not agree on stuff. So let's go with oh, I got it. I got one. The
I'm saving
Matrix 2. The second
two.
Matrix. Yeah.
Okay,
The second Matrix. Is that oh no, I guess that's too old too, isn't it? That's like
that
25
would be
years old.
old too at this point.
Okay, let's okay, no. Let's not. Oh, okay. I
Please
got
don't
one.
please don't say the last Matrix. Let's not do that.
No, no,
Okay,
no. Actually, I want to do one I haven't seen before.
I like that.
That cool?
Yeah,
You might have seen it, but I haven't seen it. Um, the last Rambo movie. It's the one where he's like a rancher, something like that.
yeah, I have seen it.
You have seen it?
I have seen it.
I've never seen that
Okay, that's fair. I'm with it.
one. All right.
Is Rainbow Last Blood, right? It's called Last
Yes.
Blood.
Rambo Last
Yes.
Blood. That's what we'll do.
All right.
All right. Bet.
Go on.
All right. I think we did it.
It's
Good
done.
discussion. Peace.